Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Charles Anumodu. I'm here to talk about the book, Igbo Culture and Tradition, a Descriptive Template. And with me here is one of the authors and contributors of that book in the person of Professor Chikwendu Chris Ukaegbu. Professor Ukaegbu is a professor of sociology and global development. He has taught in many universities in Nigeria, United States, China, and some other countries. So I will let him talk about the book so that our viewers can see what's in the book for them. Prof, welcome to the program. Can you use 1 minute to tell our viewers about yourself and the club, Prestige International Club of Chicago?
Thank you for inviting me to do this. Yeah, my name is Chikwendu Chris Ukaegbu, as you said, Professor of Sociology and Global Development. This is not the venue for a long bio. I've been associated with many institutions, both nationally and internationally. And then in Chicago, we formed a club called Prestige International Club of Chicago. When you read the preface to this book we are going to be talking about, you will find the various names of individuals who influenced the production of this book, including the founder of the club himself, Ferguson Azunna, and quite a number of other people. I was the chairman of the book committee that produced the book. Other members of the committee are also listed in the preface. So the book is about Igbo culture and tradition. And in fact, there is, I don't want to lay too much emphasis as if I am, just here to sell the book. No, I am here to tell you categorically, clearly, that this text is a unique text, contributed to by Prestige International Club members. Members collected data from their home communities, even though they live in the United States. It's a legacy book that actually is geared towards children in diaspora. That is, our children who do not know about Igbo culture. This is for them. It's a reference point for them. It's also a reference point for any other person who wants to know about Igbo culture. We have several topics, whether it is spirituality, marriage, conflict resolution, inheritance, origin of the Igbo, and quite a number of other topics. Somebody called it an encyclopedia Igbotica. That's a funny name, but it meant something for the reviewer of the book, who simply said, you should have called this book Encyclopedia Igbotica because it is encyclopedic. And therefore, my duty here is to inform you that every aspect of Igbo culture is covered in this book. Prestige International Club also is a social club domiciled in Chicago and works or aims to have a connection between the Igbos in diaspora and those in the homeland. And they do it in many ways. One of the first thing they have done so far is to produce this book. And I'm sure you will see the picture somewhere. This is the text, Igbo Culture and Tradition. Frankly, there is nothing like it. Let me take a point of reference from our classic writer, may he rest in peace. That is Chinua Achebe. Nothing by way of the documentation of Igbo culture that actually supersedes the fame of Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. But we put this book by its side. We put this book by its side when we say that Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart is a discussion of Igbo culture in motion, Igbo culture in action. That is, he wrote the book in such a way that you see people acting Igbo culture. And an example is when Okonkwo wrestled with a mate of his and defeated him, and the whole village hailed him as a hero. Or the achievement of Okonkwo in terms of his farming ability, how he made his money, the titles he took. Or you go back to the spirituality of the Igbo, look at the life of Chinelo, who was the medium between the gods and the people of Umuofia. And or the masquerades, who dispensed justice in real time. If you did something wrong, the masquerade will come and pronounce actually punishment for the individual. That is Igbo culture in motion. And nothing do I know of that supersedes that work. In its coverage of Igbo culture, as well as in its fame around the world. Our own book differs from that. Our own book here talks about Igbo culture as structure. It's a reference book. It's a structure. It's a skeleton, a template of Igbo culture. So if you ask the question, why do Igbos break kola nut before they have any ceremony, or when they see themselves as individuals? Why do they do that? Then you go to this book and you will see many reasons of that from various parts of Igbo land. Why do Igbo people actually bury their people in a special way? You go here, you find it. Igbo people religious? Do they have a religion? You go here and find it. And you'll be surprised that those people who say that Igbos are worshippers of idols and all this, you will find that they have a supreme being that has been hidden under the supreme being of Westernism. And then we are now trying to, exhibit that traditional spirituality of the supreme being of the Igbo. Or how do people marry? Why do people go first and ask about the girl's family? Why do they have stages of marriage as opposed to going to the court and signing a signature? They will tell you, this book will actually give you a detailed example of why the stages are important and the effects of those stages in marital life of the couple concerned and of the families involved or the communities involved. I don't want to go so too far so as not to uh, give you everything about the book, whereas in fact the meat of the book is so interesting. I read this book anytime I'm not doing anything. I am free of either my work or my research or other errands I want to do. If I'm not doing any of those things anytime, I pick up this book and open a page, and I cannot get tired of reading it. I cannot get tired. You say that the thing is a book may be boring. Imagine a person who is a co-author of this book, like me. I'm a co-author of it because there are other people on the committee that helped to produce it. A co-author of this book never gets bored by it. And that will tell you exactly why this book is important, both for Igbos and for non-Igbos. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof, for that detailed explanation. Uh, Now we have the book in an electronic form, an e-book. That means the boundaries of where that book is available is now removed, and anyone anywhere in the world can lay hands on the book through the e-book. Now, can you tell our viewers why non-Igbos or non-Nigerians should read this book?
Yeah, non-Igbos can read this book. I wouldn't say should read this book, but when they come across it, or if they come across it, they can read it and enjoy it. They are enjoying the totality of the content of the culture of a group of people outside yours. That's expanding your own knowledge. That's at the individual level. But the book is particularly useful at the level of educational institutions. So, um, uh, somebody or a university in Frankfurt, Germany, where there are several African studies programs, of which I'm aware of, Bayreuth University in Germany. I'm just using Germany as an example. You will have students from all over the world. Some of them may be studying African studies, doing African studies. And this book is so handy for them to understand the culture of an ethnic group in Africa, an ethnic group known as the Igbo. In fact, it will be good for comparative purposes to show that, in fact, the culture of the Igbo is comparable to the culture of a number of other African societies. And there are some examples in this book where that is comparable. I don't want to get into those details. You will see them in the book itself. So I see it as potentially useful for educational institutions. In the United States, of course, there are many premier African studies programs, and I urge those institutions to actually benefit from this book, or to make their students to benefit from this book, because frankly, I do not know of any other book on African studies that has discussed an ethnic group's culture as we have done in this book. It is not easy to make these kinds of statements, endorsing this book. But what I'm saying is a reality. There is nothing in African studies that is like this book.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. So this book is available on Amazon Kindle and the ebook and also the physical, the paperback book. So you can go to Amazon.com and search for Igbo Culture and Tradition, a descriptive template, and to order your own copy, either ebook or the physical book. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.